So just to introduce myself before we get going. So I'm not an IIT person. So I did my UG in Tier 2 college in Coimbatore, CIT. It's called CIT, Coimbatore Institute of Technology. I did my triple E there. I'm engineer, by the way. So after that, I worked in Robert Bosch in as an electrical engineer for 4 years. After that, I gave CAT. So close to 98 percentile. Then I got, except for the Shillong, I got all other 19 calls, and then gave some 6-7 IM interviews and SIBM, IMT, XLRI, all those interviews. So I gave around 13 interviews. So that's my experience with the B school interviews. So and I chose IMA, and I've been here in the campus for last 4 months, so you can ask questions about IMA as well as my B school interview experience. And yeah, just shoot your questions after that.
Okay. What happened on the D-Day for IIM Ahmedabad?
Okay.
Can you brief us?
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, it is just the normal VAT and then PI process. But except for except for IIM Ahmedabad, all other IIMs follow the VAT structure. But here they call it AWT, the analytical writing test. So on the outside it might seem the same, but here they evaluate the analytical part more. So it's like they give you a paragraph or so, and you have to write in a way that you align with the author or do you disagree with the author. It need not be binary also. It can even be like you align with the author for the first statement, you might not agree with the author for the second statement. So at what level you agree with the author? So it may not be binary. On a range of agree to disagree, you can be anywhere. So you have to justify your stance. So it was that kind of a test. After that, it was the PI process. Two professors were there. The questions were mostly centered around my work experience. They even touched about current affairs, like they are for everybody in the panel. Some international affairs was asked. What's going on in Sri Lanka? How would Brexit affect India? So some questions like that. And then they also tested on basic questions in my undergrad. Like they even asked very basic questions like what is an electron. So that is the very basic question an electrical engineer can expect. So the questions were in the range from what is an electron to how would Brexit affect India. So it was a wide range, and it was a very chill experience. Like the grilling part is quite overrated. The profs are actually chill.
And that's a misconception, buddy, isn't it? That, IIM Ahmedabad, it's a top-notch B school in the country, and they're going to grill you and they're going to kind of, eat you up. I always tell students, right? I told even you guys the same thing, right? It's going to be actually chilled out until and unless you fuck it up on the D-Day, you say something that because of which they really get mad at you. And I'll tell you where IIM Ahmedabad people gets mad at you. If they ask you any technical thing, which is coming from your academics, and if you screw it up, then better they're going to take you on a big ride. So, because they respect the talent. So, buddy, what question I want to ask you? What was your first question when you entered the hall? Actually, where did it happen? Bombay or other location? So, kindly brief us.
Bangalore. It happened in
Bangalore. What was the first question thrown at you, man?
So this was the first question I got asked in almost all the interviews. They asked me the meaning of the name because it is quite different. So it was like a good icebreaker for me. Like nobody knew how to pronounce my name. So they would start with what does it mean, and then I would say this means this. So straight off the bat, it's not a formal start actually. So we established one informal connection. So I explain about my name, background, all that. So that helps. That helps to break the ice between them, between me and the professor. After that, generally the first question was, in some interviews I was asked why MBA. So that is the first question, and why MBA after 4 years. So that is one of the questions I got asked frequently, even in Bangalore and even in Ahmedabad.
Okay. So, I believe you worked with Bosch. I still remember.
Yeah.
So, did you get any question based on like specific with your profile, number one, and about Bosch as a company? Like, did you get these sort of questions?
in none of my interviews they asked about company details, like what is their revenue, who, when was it founded, not that kind of a questions, but okay, where do you operate in, what is your core business, who are your competitors, up to that level. I got questions. And profile related questions were actually asked in almost all the interviews, like what are the challenges that I faced, did you manage people, and what was the most difficult circumstance that you went through, did you have disagreements, and how did you handle your disagreements with your manager. So those kind of questions. So more like they wanted to judge how good was I in my work experience. So that was about it.
How many members were there in the panel? 2 or 3?
2. In all the IIM interviews, there were only 2. In Bangalore, there were 3. Yeah.
Still doable. 3 is not that a big deal. Like when you see 5, then you're like, fuck, I don't want to leave. I'll go now. 5 is a big deal to handle. Cool. So how long did the interview take place? Yeah, like 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Yeah, approximately 20 to 25 minutes, but you will not realize that how long it went. You would ask, you would have to ask the fellow fellow students who are interviewing, but generally it would go around 20 to 25 minutes. And interviews can be as short as 10 minutes as well. My Code interview went for just 10 minutes. I thought I screwed it up, but timing doesn't matter. I mean, if you convince them that if you're good enough in 10 minutes, then so be it. Then it need not go for 20 to 25 minutes. Also, whether you get the chocolate at the end, all that doesn't matter.
Did they offer you a chocolate?
Yeah, no.
They did not, right? They did not, right?
No.
So there are these myths, runs behind, if you get a chocolate, it means you're selected, and oh my God, it's just up to them, if they feel, yeah, they don't. Anyway, so coming back, how many HR-based questions were there, buddy? Like, tell me something about yourself, why MBA, in IIM Ahmedabad specifically. And how many questions were, let's say, current affairs, GK? Did you get any questions related to mathematics, or did they give you any kind of a guesstimation? Did they throw any scenario at you? And did they tell you that how you will be arriving at the conclusion? So can you just bifurcate that 2 things for us?
Yeah. Okay. So straight off the bat, it was about my self introduction. After that, they asked about questions related to my work experience. After that, they went to basics of electrical engineering, my undergraduate based questions. So one professor questioned me in my undergraduate topics, and then the next professor asked me about my work experience based questions. And then it went back to GK, like what's happening in the UK, how would it affect India, those kind of questions. And then they asked me to design a small circuit. So and how would I sell it? So I have to come up with an electrical product that would and I have to market it. That kind of a question. So they tested me on how can I take my UG knowledge to MBA. So that kind of a question was asked.
Perfect.
And then
perfect.
Yeah.
This is I think, if I'm not wrong, this happens in all the top-notch B schools, predominantly for Blackie, FMS, and Excel and SP Giants, wherein they literally test your knowledge of UG and how do you actually apply it in the real world. So that is something, you all aspirants need to keep in mind, that if they ask you a question, and I mean, like, you really cannot afford to screw it up, because these things would matter. I'm not being academically so stringent. It's a no mercy kind of thing if you screw up on your academics. It's okay if I ask you a GK question, what's happening in London, or there was a question asked to one of the guy from IIM Indore, what is the national anthem of West Indies? It's okay even if you do not answer it. That's okay. But if you do not answer what you have learned by yourself, then you are gone, right? So that's there. So okay, anything else?
And don't miss the opportunity to ask a question. If they give that opportunity, just grab it. Be ready. Be prepared with a good question. Just research about the college, what you want to know more. Something some gray area would be there. You might not know about IMEA through your mentorship program or the core answers that you have read. But that's a very good chance to impress the professors. But by then they would have already have an impression about you. That question. Not every time makes a difference, but if you are in the borderline, then that could actually move you across that line, and that may even give you a convert. So just be prepared to ask a question. That's always good. So
Okay. Another, for IIM Ahmedabad predominantly, is it going to be more of your form-based questions or random?
It had a perfect flow to it. At least my interview, there was a perfect flow. Like the two professors were so organized. So that's what, like one professor was focusing on UG experience based, and then the other professor was testing me about my experience, general knowledge, and then HR based questions like why MBA after 4 years, what was my what do I want to do after MBA. So they tested me on some 5-6 buckets. So I thought each would have had some weightage, and it was like a pretty formal process.
Okay. Were you asked general knowledge questions, buddy?
In IMA, that was the only question. How would Brexit affect India? Yeah.
Now I'll tell you. Here is the scenario. So I told you guys when I was training you that it is going to be chilled out, easy peasy. We have a new set of students now. You also told them you are studying their first year PGP. You've also told them that it's going to be fine tuning and it's easy going kind of thing. Now, what I want to ask you is, when students know that it's going to be easy going now, should they be chilled out or should they be relaxed during the interview, or they need to be still having a sharp, they need to be still sharp in the interview, because you never know when the bouncer is going to come, right?
Yeah. So you will know the how the interview is going. So let's say they might even they want you to test you how you react under pressure. So straight after that, they might even ask you a question that out of nowhere, they would, without self-introduction, as soon as you sit, they might ask you a very high-level technical question. That could be there. But once you answer it, it will get back to that normal chilling mode. So you have to be sharp. The questions can it can have a very big different deviation from chill to it can just like that, it can turn. So you have to be very sharp here.
But if you're prepared well, you can very well sort of take your interview the way you want to take it, because I believe the IIM Ahmedabad students, rather the panels are like very sweet. They really don't want to take your case unless you tell them something which is really nonsense. You getting my point? If like being a finance guy, if they ask you what is like, how do you define share, and if you're not able to, then you know what I mean, right? So fine, fair enough. So so far so good. Okay, how did you start? Apart from whatever I've taught you, what are the things you did by yourself last year so that you make it a point that you're going to crack it, nail it? What are the things that you did on your own for preparation?
So the first was preparing for the VAT. So there could be, the VAT topics could be anything. Like it can be technology based, can be politics based, economics based. It can be even abstract. They can just give one word and ask you to write about that for 2 pages. So it could be anything. So I wanted to just touch upon basics of multiple topics. I guess by now you would start getting materials on what to prepare everything. So even sirs shared useful material. So that was really helpful. So just be prepared with multiple expected VAT topics. So at least if those topics are asked, you will not be lagging behind with others. If some random topic comes, then it's a level playing ground for everybody. That's okay. But be prepared with all the current affair topics. So that I prepared myself for first, and then list down multiple set of these HR type questions that you could expect. Why MBA? Why let's say you are from chemistry background or civil engineering background. Why MBA after civil engineering? Where do you want to see in 5 years? What is the domain that you're interested in? Finance, marketing, general management. So these set of questions have a prepared answer, and make sure that it doesn't look very rehearsed. It should be natural. So you would get to know, if you do 1 or 2 mock interviews, you would get to know all that. So this level of preparation and cover all your basic questions in your UG, and then talk to people who attended interviews. That since the interviews could range from even if you prepare 100 topics, the question can be from the 101st topic. So hearing more, attending more interviews or hearing interview experiences from different people would actually help. Just to add one point, so I had my IIM interviews at the last. So I attended IMT, SBI, I mean SIBM, all those interviews at the first, and then IIM interviews at the last. Fortunately, I had that kind of a schedule. So when I went to IIMs, I had converted calls in my packet. So that helped really, I mean, to get my confidence high. So if you had a chance, you could do that as well. Try to schedule your interviews accordingly.
Now, another thing that I want to ask, like, what do you think as far as the IMA interviews are concerned? How in depth guys should be studying their engineering? Because they really don't want to study their engineering back again. Nor the commerce guys want to study their commerce back again. They hate to do it, but how depth? And you can also talk you can give them some important concept from your engineering stream, and they would love to take a note of it. I would say. Please continue.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So as I said, I'm an electrical engineer. So even a non-electrical engineer would know what is an electron. So they just asked, I mean, do I really remember the basics? Because I had 4 years of OPEX. So they first tested me on that. What is an electron? And then they asked different why we use binary system instead of decimal system. So that was another question. And then they asked, as I said, they asked me to design a circuit for a product. They gave me burglar alarm system. So that is one of the systems that every electrical engineer would have designed. So it is equivalent to the Carnot cycle of a mechanical engineer. You can take it like that. So most of the mechanical engineers got, okay, draw the Carnot cycle. So it's like that. It's a very basic question for an electrical engineer designing a burglar alarm circuit. So that was the question. And then they asked me, they gave a binary number and asked me to convert it into decimal. So very basic stuff. And then they asked, this tested my understanding of electrical engineering. Like it's just an electron. How did that give rise to multiple branches of multiple branches of engineering? How is electron matters so much? So that was a question that was so abstract, but we have to translate it to why is electrical engineering important, why is electricity important. We have to translate it that way and then answer it. So these were the questions that I got.
Perfect. So what do you like? I mean, like, did you started reading once you got an IIM Ahmedabad call, like reading newspapers, or I mean, we gave you the materials, there's no doubt about it. But apart from that, what else you were like? पहले से ऐसा था क्या that you were really good with the GK, or you developed it when you got a call?
Okay, so my GK, coming from Tamil Nadu, so I was not very good with Indian system, like Indian political system, or so my knowledge is limited to what's happening in Tamil Nadu. So I had to study something about, I had to pick up my GK, so that was obviously there. And even in some interviews, I got questions that I did not know, but I was able to tell that, I am confident about this part. I mean, my knowledge is limited to this part, so you can test me here. So even I openly told that as well, and they tested me in that to check whether I'm actually good there, and I was able to answer that. That really, helped. For example, they asked, how is the economy of Tamil Nadu doing? So instead of asking how is the economy of India doing, so that's how is the economy of Tamil Nadu doing. Then I was able to give what are the industries in Tamil Nadu, what are where do they get raw materials, where do they export, what are the major products that Tamil Nadu is exporting, how much is Tamil Nadu's contribution to India's GDP. So I was able to tell these stuff, and they were happy with it. So when you are asked a question, so it's not really to test whether you know that question or not. So it is to judge how you think, how you apply, how you connect your knowledge to that question. So not really the answer they are looking for. So it's multiple things they can test from that question. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's very much a patent for any top-notch B school. They keep on asking you about your states and what's happening. But yeah, these are like quality questions. Like, what's the contribution of Tamil Nadu? Like, again, like even if you ask by panelists about your state, at least tell them what sort of contribution your state has towards the GDP of the country, and that can help you.